Would you consider Parts of Lost prequels to parts of other parts of Lost?
Yeah. Prequels and sequels all happening at once.
What a show.
And alternate universes.
When are they going to bring that back?
They're not.
I know, but they shouldn't.
Talk about having the pop culture in a chokehold and then just no one remembers it.
Gosh, I mean, I did.
Well, we do, but
I'll never forget.
Hello, everyone. We're not talking about Lost.
Nope, already did that.
We already did that a long time ago. 5 years ago, actually.
No, I think it was like during the pandemic. Or it was like right before the pandemic. Might have been like 3-4 years ago.
It happened a long time ago. Speaking of a long time ago, we're talking best prequels. Now, there's not a lot of good prequels out there.
Nope.
In fact, there's not a lot of prequels at all.
No, I think there are. They're just not good. And so there's like the Dumb and Dumber one that no one wants to talk about.
And then there's ones that people don't know are prequels, like Temple of Doom.
Yep.
And
secret prequels.
Yeah. And The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
So it's like there are prequels out there, we just don't know.
Or like what, like is there one Mad Max that's kind of a prequel?
I mean, the whole timeline on that is.
I'm just not even sure.
Fury Road is supposed to take place at some point. Who knows?
Like most movies, Fury Road does take place at some time. So,
yeah. But let's get started.
Okay.
I think we have 5, maybe 6 movies, but we'll start off with the very obvious one, Godfather Part 2. Now, a lot of people will be like, it's not a prequel all the way, but half the movie is a prequel.
Well, I think that's the point of the movie too.
Yeah.
Is you're comparing the two.
Yeah, Don Corleone before rise to power, and then him in power.
Yeah, and so I mean that's prequel.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah. So. And Robert De Niro playing a young Don Corleone, I can still see him in my brain to this day.
The grip
it had on me as a child. These Godfather movies are just insane, and it holds up so well. And I'm sure if I watched it today, it would just be just as good.
Yeah. Do you think this is the only time a prequel has been like kind of defined as the best movie of a trilogy or franchise?
I think so, yeah. And I think it will remain that.
Yeah, like I don't think anyone else.
It's so hard to pull off a prequel.
Yeah.
This one is like perfect.
Yeah.
And it's almost impossible to. You can't even like remake Godfather. That's how perfect these movies are.
Offer. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like this is the one. This is like definitive. Because the rest of our list is pretty much like just IP garbage.
Yeah, just having fun.
Just having fun. Which I think that's what prequels have started to become. Is it's just a means to make more money out of something. And this is kind of the one time like it's a pure story use. There are others, I think.
Yes.
You know, like but the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You brought it up. Like I don't think it like defines it. Like there's nothing like definitive about like, oh wow, that's really opens my eyes.
And the only clue that it's a prequel is Clint Eastwood's character is just collecting his suit from later movies. So
it's like and same thing with Temple of Doom. There's nothing that's like, wow, this is really just shuffled the deck for me and my thoughts on these characters.
Yeah.
But like Godfather, I mean, it's the whole purpose of the movie. So it's like, yeah, you know, I think it will always kind of be the ultimate prequel.
It's Godfather 2 and then everything else we're going to talk about. I think we stay on the track. You know, Godfather 2 is perfect.
Yeah.
Rogue One, near perfect. It's obviously servicing the IP.
Yeah.
But it services it in a way that makes this moment amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it fills in the plot holes, but it does it in a way, and so does Andor, in a way that makes you just like hyped for whatever comes next.
Yeah.
And that makes the original first Star Wars better.
I think that's 100% why it makes one of the most incredible sci-fi movies of all time. It makes it slightly better because it like adds just a little bit more weight to it all. You know, that like, are they going to be able to succeed? They better, because like spoiler alert, all those people died. But yeah, I think, and what I love about this movie, because this is not a hot take, but I think it probably, Last Jedi aside, because we both love Last Jedi.
Yes.
Last Jedi aside, it's probably the best thing that's come out of Disney Star Wars. and Andor, but
And
also
Andor.
that is still tied
Still
to
said
Rogue One. And no matter what the, like, you know, there's all the behind the scenes questions, and it seems like Gareth Edward, we've talked about this too in our creator video, kind of took all that in stride. So, like, it seems like everyone's thrilled with how it turned out, and it is nice that it is not just beating you over the head with like, hey, Star Wars. Like, it has its moment at the end.
Yeah.
That I think was definitely a last minute ad, but the rest of it stands on its own. Like, you don't need to drop like Leia's name, Luke's name, Han's. You don't need to drop like 30 names and be like Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
You know, and the cast is incredible.
Yeah, but it sells the desperation of the rebel forces.
Yeah.
It's like, if they don't get this done, it's game over.
Yeah.
It's GG. So, but you already said all that. So let's stay on the servicing the IP train. Yeah. We're going to talk about something that came out recently, very recent. Mm-hmm. This year? Recent? Prey?
No, last year.
Okay, last year. I got my years mixed up. Prey, which is a prequel to Predator, but also not really, because it's a whole different Predator, but that's how all the Predator movies work. Yeah. It's never the same one, because they usually die at the end. It lands in indigenous America, and if you want to, you can watch it in a Native American language, or it's in English, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's like first hunt, the Predator's first hunt.
Yeah.
And he's just finding someone worthy to kill, and the person that we follow is not worthy of the kill.
Yeah.
Until the very end.
Or isn't told, like, is told that she's not worthy of the kill.
Especially in her tribe and to the Predator hunting.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you know what? I'm gonna kill you.
And it's also it's nice because it does build on a little like Predator lore of like what the first kill is, and that, you know, like it adds just a little bit to that whatever convoluted world is now, but like it's fun and it's nice, and it's like it introduces the idea of like there's these like younger predators, like these like lean, beefy predators, you know, like not just a massive one, but and like the skull mask is still so freaking cool.
And it actually makes part of the second one better.
Sure. Okay.
The Predator 2 is obviously not great, but there are people that love it, and there's a flintlock at the very end that he gets. Now we get to Marvel. Yes, because there is 2 prequel movies in Marvel. Captain America, the first Avenger, and Captain Marvel, the second Avenger? Technically the first. Did you really?
First, really. I don't know.
Captain America is the better movie, but I feel like Captain Marvel has more fun. Captain America, he's like trying to be super serious, and you're trying to get across that. He's trying to get across that he's
the character is more.
He's what he's what humanity wants to be.
Yeah.
He always thinks of the best solution or whatever. But I think Tommy Lee Jones actually tries really hard in Captain America.
In Captain America, it's insane how good he. It's probably because he's just playing Tommy Lee Jones.
No,
But I think I would give it a little bit more towards Captain America, because I think it sets up things. It sets up kind of not just plot points, but I mean, even in that, like in those moments, like it's building up to Civil War, where like Captain Marvel was kind of. It felt more like, it's in the 90s.
Yep.
But
Jude Law.
I was really hoping they were gonna bring him. I thought they were gonna kind of low-key him a little bit in the Marvels. I wish. Gosh, that'd have been cool. But no, I just also love the 90s.
Yeah,
we
grew up in the 90s,
so like we're like
I know that thing. I know that song.
Stan Lee, he was reading the Mallrats script. That's crazy. It's more fun, and she can have more fun. The No Doubt song, the needle drop, and
it's a good fight scene.
Yeah, Ben Mendo.
If there's one thing to get from the Marvels and Captain Marvel, is they actually have really underrated fights in terms of Marvel movies.
Yeah, so they really do. Oh, yeah, those are cool fights. But yeah, Mendo, Clark Gregg comes back, so that's always fun. Sam Jackson looking young but running old.
Running very old. And now the last one, Fast 5. Which basically reset the whole entire Fast series.
So would you count 5 and 6 as kind of a prequel like duo?
Yes, but 5's
Oh, 5 is better.
5's better than 6.
6 is a lot of fun.
Yes.
And 6 is where it really pays off to be like, oh, okay, I see how what we've done.
Yeah.
But 5, I just love Han. So
and it's the introduction of The Rock.
Yeah, it is.
As what? What did he call himself? Box office Viagra?
Yeah, when he called, man, he has the best lines in that movie. It is so good.
Since it's a prequel, is he the first antagonist to turn into a protagonist?
Really, would you consider Brian the first antagonist who's turned into a protagonist?
Well, no, because he's the protagonist in the first movie.
Dom, of course.
Yes. So Dom. Yeah, it's always Dom.
It's always Dom. No, but I think this one, and it finally, this is where everyone talks about, it's like, it finally just found what it should be. It's kind of like, yeah, these are heist movies and they're fun. Yeah. And then they've lost their way again, but it's like a prequel to 10 X.
Yes.
Because that ties into 5, you know?
Wild.
What a wild world.
What a crazy... Man, what a series.
Listen, I'm just glad Han's back, but, you know.
Well, maybe. I might have died in the plane. We don't know. We won't find out for another 5 years.
No, that movie came out in 2011? Came out in 2011. We had to wait. Yeah, 10 more years. Yeah. 10 more years. Before we're like, well, no, because he dies in 6, technically.
Yeah.
He dies in Tokyo Drift, really.
Yes.
Gosh. So would you say that Tokyo Drift is kind of like not a prequel in time, but a prequel with characters?
When it came out, it was a prequel.
Yeah.
Because all the other ones take place after.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
This is the problem that you come with prequels sometimes.
So technically 4 is also a prequel.
Yes.
This is not a problem with prequels. This is a problem with the Fast and the Furious franchise. They're like, really, 4 is a prequel.
Yes.
5 is a prequel.
6 is also a prequel.
6 is a prequel.
And then 7 is a sequel.
And then 7 is a sequel, yeah. Gosh.
So if you really want to go 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10.
No, 1 and 2 take place before 3 and 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 5.
No. 1, 2. No, 1, 2, 4.
Yes.
5, 6.
3?
3 and 7 together, because they're supposed to, I think, a little bit take place around the same time.
Yes.
Then 8, 9, X, and Hobbs and Shaw is somewhere in there.
Well, the good thing about Hobbs and Shaw is it takes place somewhere. You don't really know.
It has to take place after at least 8, because I guess Statham is out of jail.
But could technically take place while X is happening.
True, and could also take place in another dimension. We would never know.
And I'm okay with that. Prequels, as you could tell, sometimes they're very confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But more often than not, they are confusing. But sometimes you get a little good one.
You know what? I've talked to my parents this weekend, and they love going to the movies. They enjoyed the new Hunger Games movie. They said,
how about that?
Pretty solid. So they said, really. I don't know why they're just doubling down on, like, let's make Cornelius Snow a good guy, but they've pulled it off. So if that's what you're waiting for, good job.
Hey,
you got it.
You know what? 2 thumbs up for Hunger Games.
Prequels, yeah. It's a prequel. So
never,
it's like,
never seen it, but 2 thumbs up.
Should we do that too? Like instead of Twilight? Because I haven't seen the last. It's the same thing. I haven't seen the last 2, and you haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, but it makes sense when the next one comes out, if there is a next one. She has to write another book, so she hasn't.